Good morning, good morning, good morning, YouTube viewers. Good morning, Facebook Nation. Good morning to all people, all races, all languages around the world, men, women, children, no matter where you are. May you have the best day humanly possible. And for whatever goals that you have set forth for yourself on this day, may that goal come to fruition as long as it benefits all of humanity. So, good morning, people. Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning to everyone. It's a beautiful day, and to get back on schedule, we're going to be talking about the races you know. However, with the rise in what we're seeing in the school systems, where children are literally have to be searched before they go into school, where children are actually killing other children, where children are daring children to do the most violent things and to commit the most violent acts. And we should be focused on this, but in actuality we are, because it deals with this topic. And for the people out there of pure light, the ones who have been spreading the message to say, the disarray of the world that we're in, for the people of pure lights, we have to tip our hats off to, the adults, because the adults are worse than the children, and they're blaming the kids on their deficiencies, their inability to relate to the children of today, even though they're a direct creation of these parents that we have out here, which goes back into the topic, who is raising our parents, something for us to think about. So to get back in with topic, excuse me, the racist you know. The racist that you know is just like any other. It's just like a narcissist, just like a jerk, just like an a-hole, just like a predator. All these people, a stalker, or even in relationships, a sugar daddy, which is all falls under predator, and control freaks. So it applies. The racist you know applies to all of them, because they all possess these qualities within themselves. But there's something that differentiates the racist from all the others, and that's what we're going to talk about today. However, what these people all have in common, and these are red flags for you, which is they operate on three things, which is purpose, want, and need, and they fulfill them to the tilt, because this is how they operate, this is how they maneuver. So today's topic should actually read, how now brown cow. And that was for back in the day. That's sits there to make you scratch your head, be like, what's really going on. So and no offense, because I grew up on chocolate milk, I still love it today. So it should read as follows: why do we play the game? And that's what it all boils down to. It's what we condone, and what you and I condone as parents, as adults. What we condone has so much to do and play on the actions of the youth of today, and we're not taking accountability, we're just blaming. So why do we play the game when we all know that this game that we are constantly playing is stacked against us? We're playing a game that we can't win, but we psych ourselves psychologically to think that we can outdo this game, and you can't, because this is a game that has been run from the beginning of time all the way until this present day, and we are not the first civilization to use the games and to use the manipulations and use the brainwashing tactics that we're using today. We are not the first civilization. So let's talk about the ways that the game is stacked against you. Number one, you have competition on your job. Number two, you're pleasing the one you love while maintaining a family. Some of us have families, and many of us have families. So while holding a perfect face, while presenting the best face to the outside world and whole. So you're constantly putting on these different faces for everything that we go through, instead of just being one person, but we're being directed by an algorithm that constantly says you have to put on your best face. I think once we start putting on our real faces, we can start addressing what's really, really going on in the world, and it starts with us and what we condone. These people, we all know these people, but yet and still we say, oh, they're harmless, they're harmless. No, you're making a choice that these things are okay. Not talking in regards to the children, I'm talking in regards to the adults. So you're constantly putting on a false face, which in turn presents the perfect playing ground. This is where it ties in to the races that because there's one in every one of our circles, and they can be the same color as us, and they could be different colors as us, but the differentiation is these people hate you because they hate something about themselves. which makes them hate an entire race and will never understand an entire race. They just have no capabilities of doing so, even though they operate amongst us as friends. Usually they're the ones that, down everything, and they're always putting down the race and say, oh, see what this one did, or see this, or see that. So we all have one of them around us. But when we cut those people off, not only does it send a message to that individual, but it sends a message to everyone that's around them to say, I don't condone your behavior. And this is how we combat the racists we all know. But it starts with us. And it starts with the choice. And the choice is, no, I don't want to be a part of you if this is how, you feel about, others that are in my race. I don't want to know you. So this is the perfect playing ground to the racists you know. One day, as we all begin to wake up, there is only one person or many who can offer a solution to the individual plights in which we all face. And this is where you get extremist groups. You get extremists, you get haters, you get manipulators. They all have their separate groups, and whichever one you identify with through your flaws, when we blame, we fall right in, and then they provide a need, even though they do not agree with what we agree with. We only agree on maybe one out of maybe 50 things that they represent. This group represents, or this type of thinking represents. So we have to wake up, and it's up to us to wake up. And so this provides a purpose, a want, and a need, fulfilling every one of your desires, or one of your, what you feel is your hold against how things can be better or how things should be. This is where they come in. So even in terms of a predator, they provide a purpose, they provide a want, and they provide a need. In order for these people to operate, they have to have something that makes someone think outside of what they're thinking and go deep within to make them understand that there's a want and a need that you might be able to provide. And this is how they operate. They can't operate without it. So this is where a purpose, a want, and a need comes from. So this is not about a color or a race. So I want to be clear about this, or a nationality of a people, because for all those who are human, always know these individuals have no soul. All good has left them. And when people think like that, and we have people around us, they don't have a soul. They can do 20 nice things for you, but if they're doing 50 or 1,000 bad things to others, that's just us being selfish. So we have to say, weigh the checks and balances is what these individuals represent. Is this worth, me condoning who I am as a person? Because remember, we all put karma, we all put energy back into this earth, because the earth runs on vibration. So there's a difference between narcissistic and racist. Many have both. Some do more harm to their own race than others than good. These are usually people of color, around the world, nationality-wide, with color or race, Europeans included. They're all doing these things to one another, which in turn makes our children, ties back in with these school shootings, makes confused kids. The kids are so far confused because they're growing up with anything goes. We threw our morals out the window, so now this is what we're faced with, and it's only going to get worse. And speaking of worse, condolences to the people in Hawaii for what they're going through, realizing that that storm hasn't taken place in over 100 years. Not only did it not take place in over 100 years, they can't even drink the water because the water has chemicals in it. Hello, but let's get back to the topic. So these individuals have a hatred for the skin in which he or she exists, even though they may be of color, even though they may be European. There's a hatred that they have within their skin. And I want to use a European example for this. We see European women more so than ever before in life. They want bigger lips and bigger hips. That's not by happenstance. So even though these people are doing these alterations with their body, they're still pointing the they're still pointing the finger to use the N word. And I'm not going to erase that, So, but they'll still use that word, even though, what do you want bigger lips for? What do you want bigger hips for? Why do you get off in secret with black men looking at you? So that's for European race, but it's all different races that are doing the same thing when it comes to. I'm not even going to go into other races. That's a good enough point. But they're included. We're all included. These individuals have a hatred for the skin in which he or she exists. They seek acceptance from others. We find this with mostly in my race, the black race, where they accept any other praise from any other race, even though that race may be against their own. And these black people, they will do harm to their own. So see how these things tie in. It's all psychological bull crap, which is meant to confuse us which makes us do what? Act out in chaotic ways against one another. Let's wake up from this, and it starts with cutting people like this off in your life, because of these people, these things exist. So, because they have a lack of soul, by turning, these people will turn a purpose, a want, and a need into oppression, slander, through gossip, and lastly, suffering, because in their heart exists no love, and that's what it all boils down to. Bad things can't get into you if you fill yourself with good things, and hope can't get into you, faith can't get into you when all you have is denial and hate. So let's fill ourselves with the right things. Some may find my comments to be blunt. However, I always said you will come to this channel and you will get truth. And, truth is never easy, which shows that, for the people who are still coming here to my page, that truth is hard. Most people want to walk around through life with blinders on their face, but you cannot accept what's happening, and you will always remember my quote: nobody understands death until it's knocking at their door, because no one cares about it. But it will come to every last one of our doors, as these disasters are making a global tour, not a world tour, a global tour, as well as, the violence and everything else in our world getting to be at the worst it can possibly be. So we have to make a choice in our life. And many of us live day to day not realizing that we are all being judged, just the same as we are all being played. We're being judged right now. What we stand for, what our sins are, the choices that we make. The most important is what is in one's heart, because every religion says the same thing. So that cannot be wrong. It's what's in your heart. So we have to continue to make our hearts better, our hearts pure, even though we're going through the chaos. It's not to say you can't protect yourself, but you also have to be able to show love where love is deserved, even sometimes where love is not. But with that type of love, that's a whole different story, and that'll be discussed at some point. So I want to leave you with this. We all have a racist, a narcissist, a hater, a troll within our circles, and no matter what you or I believe, we are all being judged, every last one of us. So when we take purpose, want, and need, and we focus on condone, accountability, and understanding, we encompass the necessary tools to be found worthy. Because remember, when this ends, these people are coming back. For those who wake up, we go on into infinite. We go into, pure bliss. And, some people might call that heaven. But we go right back to the Creator, where these people will live again to go through, the same things, because everything that they want, they live, they lie, they slander, they die for this material world, which is a fake world, which is only a laboratory. So by walking away from toxicity, this is the beginning of our path to, pure light, and our path to love, and our path to success, our path to peace, our path to everything that is, blessed unto us, in this world, even though, the bad things are going on around us. So with that, everyone, continue to be the best person you can be. Be safe out there, because we're living in an uncertain world. Things are happening, and get in touch with your most higher power, and be in touch with something greater than what's happening with this earth, because what's happening with this earth is a direct result of your higher power, all of our higher power. It's something we read in our Bibles, but yet and still when it's happening, we say, wait a minute, it ain't supposed to happen now. Yeah, it is happening now. So remember, we're all being judged, and by removing the toxicity from around your circle shows the Most High that, you are serious, and, you have made that choice to, to side with the Most High. So with that, everyone, have the most beautiful day, men, women, children, around the world. Every language, every color, no matter where you are, may you have the most beautiful day. May you have an awesome day. For whatever goals once more you have set for yourself on this day, may those goals come to fruition, as long as they benefit all of humankind. And with that, everyone, have a blessed day. Peace and blessings.